fans, it's the one and only Optimus coming to you with another video review. If you're an old subscriber, thanks for coming back. If you're a new one though, welcome. Before you leave, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and bell notification so that you get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new review. And on today's episode, thanks to the support of my patron, Army Mike, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Soundwave. For the package, much like all of the Studio Series figures, you got that nice open window that fully showcases the figure. Of course, you have a really nice kind of like CGI image of him right there. You got the Transformers text with the Generation logo. This is Soundwave as he appeared in Transformers Dark of the Moon, which you can see right down here. The side here has a nice up-close image of his ugly mug, while the opposite side has a more pullback image of that, which gives you kind of a full-body look at the entire character. Come around to the back of the package, you can see that he is an officially licensed vehicle, that being a Mercedes-Benz. Obviously, you can see him in his robot mode as well as his vehicle mode. He transforms in 19 steps. And you got the one-sentence bio that says, Soundwave and Laserbeak await orders from Megatron. And that is it for the packaging. So without further ado, let's get this guy out here and see how cool he actually is. And here we have him opened up out of its packaging and obviously in his vehicle mode. And this guy looks fantastic. They did a really good job with this. As you can see, he is that very expensive Mercedes and that very gorgeous silver paint throughout the entire thing. Great sculpted in detail, like with the side bits here. You can see you have that kind of sculpted there on the side here. You have that molded in Mercedes logo right there in the front. Obviously, got some side view mirrors, great looking tires with the rims picked out in silver. Coming around on the back, you can kind of see there's a little bit of a schmutz sort of thing right there. I have a bit of a paint defect on mine. That's a little bit unfortunate, but doesn't ruin things too much. Then you can see on the back, really nice sculpted detail as well, with like the exhaust where the license plate would go. Some nice red paint here for the taillights. Overall, really very sharp. Now, he does come with Laserbeak. You can take him and you got a little tab section right there that will slot into that. So you can have him drive around looking like a roof ornament, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of strange. But you can then take the legs, fold them forward, and here you have him. Actually, really nice detail on here. You can see pretty much everything that you want. Only paint applications are right here on the eyes, but you can see the wings have a nice amount of detail. You can see the thrust turbine things right in the inside there, and then the weird spinal sort of look. You got his legs right here, which are nice because they actually do attach to him, to Soundwave, I should say, in his actual robot mode. You know, it is what it is. I feel like some of the smaller pieces that we've gotten before had a little bit more paint and everything, so that would have been nice on this. But this is a softer, rubbery kind of material, so I don't know how much you could have done with that, but it's cool they included it. I do love the car, though. I think that this is very sleek, very cool looking. A lot of the robot parts here come up, so maybe it would have been a little bit better to give kind of tint to these windows, just to kind of hide all that stuff that's in there. It's not terrible, just commenting. For a size comparison, here's Jazz, and that's sticking out. You can see, though, I mean, Jazz as a kind of sports car is a little bit smaller than I would have thought he would be compared to. You can see a slightly different color in terms of the silver here as well. This is a little bit darker. This has a lighter tone to it. Almost kind of like a bluish tone to a degree, but definitely was surprised. I mean, obviously Jazz is a small figure, and I was definitely surprised to see how much bigger this Mercedes is by comparison. I mean, I don't know if that's really all that real world accurate. Obviously, the biggest thing that they want in terms of a scale to match would be the robot modes. And I think it does. It does a pretty good job, but that just kind of surprised me. Overall, though, really solid representation in terms of his vehicle mode. Now, for his transformation here, first what you want to do is come around here to these side bits here. You want to kind of pull these apart, kind of pulling that away, kind of loosen that, and get that kind of just separated do that kind of on both sides. You're just pulling all that junk kind of away. Next, take this front section. You can then bend this, just pull it down like so, and then you can take these arms that you loosened up, and you can kind of pull these all the way out like that, and they will kind of sit right there. You can worry about those later on. You don't have to fiddle with them around too much. This part here can be a little bit tricky. These bits here have a tendency to pop out. They're just on ball joints, but they have a tendency to pop out, which kind of stinks, but just kind of pull that. If it pops out, you can just put it back in there, but I wanted to try to do it without them just pulling apart. So kind of pull them down like that, and then try and rotate these around as best as you can. You do have some pieces here kind of in the way of it, so they're almost, they kind of pull that around. Is that going to clear there? There we go. All right, that wasn't too bad. So again, let's try that on this side. So we're going to pull that, loosen that up. Damn you. Pull that down and just kind of rotate that around, putting those up there like that. Now his head section here is underneath here. You want to push this. This part can be a little bit tricky. Fold the head back and then kind of push this up and through. There we go. You want to get this piece here to spin all the way around, and then bring that all the way down, locking that into place like that, and then bring the head up and kind of position it just like that. Come around here to the back section. You can take this, detach this from the whole body like that, and then this piece right here, you can see like you got a little jagged section inside there. Kind of swivel that forward, and then that's going to push up and lock into place right there. You can take these legs, split these, and then rotate these around like that all the way to the back. That should bring the foot section out. So again, take that, rotate that all the way around just like that. Then separate these, kind of leave those there. Separate this part here from the side. That tabs in like that. That tabs in like that. Bring these down. Take this, reach in here. It's a little bit tricky to do, but reach in there, pull out his hand, and then you can take this, and that will clip on a place just like that. So again, on this side, reach inside here, and pull out his hand. There we go. And then this will come down, clip into place. Rotate this around, rotate that around, straighten out his head. Take this back section here. This is going to fold up and under, and then lay along the back side like that. Kind of straighten this all out. His head shifts. I can never remember if it's supposed to be all the way back or forward. I think it's supposed to be forward, just for added look. And then I like getting these kind of down and a little bit on an angle, not completely straight up like that, because they were on an angle in the film. Kind of bring these down like that. And when you're done, there you have Soundwave in his really awesome looking robot mode. And this guy's absolutely terrific. Again, the Studio Series line has really done a tremendous job of doing what they've set out to do, and that's recreate these characters with the most up-to-date and honestly most realistic recreation of the characters that we saw on screen. Now, we've got a couple different Soundwaves. We got a deluxe one that really didn't get a huge release. That was a really good figure. I had it for a time and then got rid of it because I knew, other ones were going to be coming out which were better, which was, up to this point, the Human Alliance one, which did a really, really good job of recreating Soundwave basically from like the knees up. The legs were terrible on that. This is terrific though. And one thing that I really like is the size of them. Soundwave was fairly small of a character, and you can really see it in that scene in Dark of the Moon where Megatron is there with them. Now, bringing in some figures for the comparison because I used Jazz previously. Here is that Studio Series Jazz figure. I'm trying to fiddle with his legs. So you can see that size-wise, I mean, obviously Jazz is a lot more slender and everything, but they're roughly about the same height or so. But Jazz, again, was a very small character. For another deluxe class figure, here he is with Barricade, and again, size-wise, fits pretty well. But you get a real good appreciation when you compare him to some of the Voyager figures. For example, here is the Voyager class Optimus Prime. And again, the size, I think, works very, very nicely. The one that I really want to show, obviously, is his master, Megatron. And obviously, Megatron is even bigger than Optimus, which, again, people still complain about it, but that was accurate. Megatron was bigger than Optimus Prime. Now, granted, this is the Revenge of the Fallen version, but this is the way that it should be. And I'm really very happy with it. So, again, kudos to them on getting the robot mode size proper. The only thing I would have liked to have seen added on would be some like extra paint detail, like on these little sound woofer things that he has here. You got a couple in there. Some extra paint on there would really help to pull some of those out. As it is, you get some of this nice dark gray mixed in with the rest of the silver that the body has. And that looks pretty good. I do think that the head is a little bit drab. Coming in, the head sculpt is fantastic on it. I mean, that is a wicked, evil look. I just wish that there was some extra paint details on it to kind of mesh with what we're getting with the rest of it. It's done in this very soft, kind of gray plastic, and you can see that the mouth and the eyes are painted. I just want a little bit more detail there. I love the way that the chest looks. Again, looks really very cool. The arms have a lot of detail. The arms were bulky in the movie, and I think that the toy here captures it. You do get some faux car pieces right here, which kind of look like the sides of the car, kind of where like the wheels would be. Obviously, those are not used in vehicle mode, but I like that they carry them over here to kind of give that illusion. And then the legs just look much better than that Human Alliance one. The Deluxe one did a good job, but I just felt it was a little bit off. This one I think looks great. I mean, yeah, he does have a bit of a leg backpack, I guess, but he had big legs kind of in the film, so I'm quite happy with how it turned out. For his articulation, the head does get a little bit caught up on these little sections on the side. You can kind of move it around and mitigate it, but you don't get a ton of range of motion. A lot of up and down, but you're just kind of getting them turning off to the side a little bit. So I wish that was a little bit better. The shoulders here rotate, real nice range of motion there. They move in and out. They have a swivel at the upper part of the bicep. You got a hinge here at the elbow. I guess you could kind of say that the wrists move in and out kind of as part of the transformation, but that's just a little bit. It's really not meant for it. No waist articulation, unfortunately. I mean, everything kind of locks down here, so you do lose out on that waist articulation, but again, it has an accuracy to it, which I'm okay with. I like the accuracy in lieu of that articulation on them. The hips here, though, move forward and back. They move in and out, but these pieces here do kind of get hit when it tries going on with the upper section right there. He does rotate at the upper part of the thigh. He's got a nice bend at the knee. The ankles, do they tilt? They don't tilt, which is a little unfortunate, but I guess you could kind of say they move. Well, they don't really move that much. Honestly, they're kind of locked into place. I mean, they kind of sit there, but I mean, you have to detach it to get it to move. But I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's. I'm not really looking for crazy dynamic poses with this guy. I just want him to be big, menacing, hanging out there. I do still have my Deluxe Class Q or Wheeljack figure. It would be nice to get an updated version of him, but I'm quite content with that one, so I'm not going to be overly picky if we don't ever get one. He does have a bit of a backpack. It does kind of sit fairly flush here, but you can see it does kind of hang out there. I mean, it doesn't really do much. It just kind of sits there, so it's not terrible, I don't think. You don't really notice it too much from the front. The back, it's just, you know, a lot of Transformers now do this, where the top section of the car just kind of folds up along the back. So it's not bad. I'm okay with it. In general, though, absolutely love this figure. I really do. I think that the vehicle mode looks great. I think the robot mode looks great. The colors on here are very nice. The silver is very eye-catching. I do wish there were some extra paint apps, like some highlights in the little round sections, but all in all, I am super happy with how this guy turned out. Now to transform him back, first we're going to open these little window panels and then tuck the hand back in. Then straighten all this up, and you're going to tab all of this along the side right there, creating the basic side of the entire car. So again, do that on this side, open up the little window piece, slide that in. I'm even noticing like amazing detail on the inside there. That's really freaking awesome. Put that away, stretch that up, and lock that along the side just like that. Then come down to these chest bits here. They're going to be tricky to do. Again, just kind of tuck it down and then try and rotate that around as much as you can. And that popped out, so if it doesn't, go back, just, you know, put that little bell right in there, and there you go. That's like that. So let me try that on this side. Did that? Oh no, there we go. That one stayed in. So that's pretty cool. And then take this entire torso bit, and you want to pull this away just like that. Take this, kind of fold this out just like that. Come down here to these legs, and this is going to tuck up. You got a little tab section here which will kind of lock these in here, so you want to kind of separate that and then pull that up, and then you can rotate this all the way around. So do that on both sides like so, and then you bring the two halves together and squeeze them just like that. Then this piece is going to come up on an angle. You can kind of see how it's like in this zigzag pattern, and when you bring that up, the thighs here are going to line up almost perfectly with the underside of the roof. So you can see how that all kind of fills in that little area right there. Again, I do kind of wish that the windows were a little bit more tinted to kind of hide it, but I do like how it perfectly like fits right there. Then you're going to take this, you can rotate this piece down along the side like that, and then tab these bits in along the side there, tab that in along the side there, and kind of squeeze that. Now this, you want to take this and kind of shift this back and then tuck that down, and then this is a little bit tricky. You want to push from like the head section down, and I'm sorry, no, when you do that, keep it shifted as forward as you can and then kind of bend it. That gives you the clearance for these little ears to go through that bit right there, and then just kind of rotate that all the way back, and then bring that in there, lining that up proper, and then bring this whole piece up and lock that in like that, and then just take the head, then push it up like so. And when you're done, there, well that's popping out, but there you have Soundwave back in his vehicle mode. But as I said pretty much this entire video, this is a great figure. The transformation, while fairly simple, actually does some really cool stuff, while still maintaining an absolutely gorgeous looking vehicle mode, which is accurate, and a robot mode that really does capture the look of the character. Hasbro has been nailing it with these Studio Series figures. In my opinion, are really masterpiece versions of them. Granted, we do have the movie Masterpiece line going on right now, and those are outstanding as well. But these definitely have a great place in a collection. First of all, they're cheaper, they're pretty much just as accurate, and take up less space. All, in my opinion, are pluses, especially if you have a large collection. So without a doubt, I would recommend picking this guy up. He is well worth adding to your collection. And to do that, it's really simple. All you have to do is click on the link down in the video description, where you can go online to places such as Big Bad Toy Store, where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of Transformer figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Remember, if you like this video, I would really appreciate if you would do one small thing for me. And that's just to simply hit that thumbs up button. With all the uncertainty of YouTube right now, doing small things like that really do go a long way towards helping me out, and I would really appreciate it. Also, I want to send a huge shout out again to my good friend and patron, Army Mike, who through his continued support, as well as the support of my other patrons, helped to make reviews like this continue to be possible. And finally, remember, the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.